It's super interesting. And the other part that you attack is, so yes, maybe we're putting disproportionate weight on those outliers, uh, but it also feels like part of the reason maybe people choose or desire those schools is it's almost like insurance against a bad outcome, right? There's like a floor for how bad it can be. But then you come in here with like another interesting argument where you're sort of like anticipating that argument in some ways. And you say not so fast. And you share this research study that shows that one of the biggest factors in dropping out of STEM degrees is the academic ability of one's classmates. And I said on our first show, welcome back, and I think I said it rather inelegantly, that my leaving sort of multivariable calculus and STEM behind actually proved in some ways the study that you cited. Can you share more of what exactly it found and sort of the counterintuitive aspects of it?
Yeah, basically, I always thought that you had to kind of swim with the fish. You wanted, if you were a high academic student, that you wanted to be at a place where everybody was swimming at the lead of the pack. And what we found in the study, this is particularly true, by the way, in STEM, is that if you do that, you're not able to keep up, or you're not, as I say in the book, kind of a shark and kind of attacking it, you're actually more likely to drop out. And this is what happened, right? I met this a mother in Houston whose kid gets into Texas A&M and gets into Stanford, ends up at Stanford, really struggles there. And basically at Stanford, they're like, you're not going to make it. So what? Like leave the major. They don't really care that much. They have plenty of other students to fill that major. And by the way, they have more talented students. And so the kid not only drops out of the major, but he ends up leaving Stanford. And the study really showed that, again, because it's based on average SAT scores, and that you actually want a place where there's a little bit of a range of SAT scores, because that means there's a range of students. And that would have been Texas A&M for him, where they would have known that they have a range of students. This comes back to the David Yeager work that he does at the University of Texas, right? Is really trying to lift those students up who struggle in college. And Michael, I think what ends up happening is that we have this overconfidence as parents. I see this all the time. Well, if my kid is top of the class at this high school, that means they're going to do well wherever they go. And that's not necessarily true. And you're actually better off in some cases being that bigger fish in the smaller sea, because you're going to have a faculty and other students and others who are going to help you. Where if you end up at these top universities, again, great places, but if you don't have that attitude to attack it, and now you're going to be, by the way, surrounded by people who are just as good as you and even better in some cases, you might not be able to make it. And we don't necessarily know that going into the process.
All right, let's take a quick break. We're going to get in a word from our sponsor, Ascendium. And when we come back, I'm going to grill Jeff about how to help people make trade-offs and perhaps figure out what their true priorities are, and if there is a solution to the rankings mania, as we explore more about his new book, Dream School, Finding the College That's Right for You. That's all ahead on Future You.